You have come a long way. You can read a company's statements, run its ratios, judge its moat, and walk it through a 10-point checklist. You are, honestly, more equipped than most people who buy stocks. But today I owe you the most honest episode in this whole series. Because after teaching you to analyze a company, I have to ask the uncomfortable question hiding behind all of it. Is this entire effort secretly one big problem? Stay with me, because the answer will make you a wiser investor than any ratio ever could. First, let's complete the picture, because real analysis is more than numbers. The statements and ratios tell you about the past, but you're not buying the past. You are buying the future. So a true analyst also examines the things no spreadsheet captures. Is the management honest and capable? Is the industry growing or quietly dying? Does the company have room to keep expanding, a long runway ahead, or has it already conquered its whole market? This is the qualitative layer, the judgment beyond the math, and it is often what truly separates a good investment from a bad one. So now you have it all. The numbers in the story, the past, and the future, the quantitative and the qualitative. You can examine a company as thoroughly as a professional, which makes the problem I am about to hand you all the more important. Here is the uncomfortable truth in 3 parts. Part 1. All of this analysis is built on the past. Every statement, every ratio describes what already happened. But the future, the only thing that actually determines your returns, is genuinely unknowable. A perfect read of yesterday is no guarantee about tomorrow. Part 2, and this is the big one. You're not the only person doing this. When you pull up a company's numbers, millions of others, including banks with armies of analysts and supercomputers, are looking at the exact same numbers at the exact same time. There is no secret in a public financial report. Everyone already sees it. And part 3 follows directly. If everyone already knows the numbers, then the price you see has already absorbed them. An economist named Eugene Fama won a Nobel Prize for this idea, the efficient market hypothesis. In its simple form, it says a stock's price already reflects all the publicly available information. The good news about a great company is already baked into its higher price. The fear about a struggling one is already baked into its lower price. So simply finding a good company does not mean you found a bargain. The crowd found it before you. This is the one big problem, and it is humbling. It means that all your careful analysis, as valuable as it is, rarely hands you a secret edge over the market, because the market is millions of people doing the very same analysis. A scholar named Burton Malkiel wrote a famous book arguing this so strongly that he suggested a blindfolded monkey throwing darts could pick stocks about as well as the experts. He was being provocative, but the data behind him is stubbornly real. So if even thorough analysis usually cannot beat the crowd, was learning all of this a waste? Absolutely not. And here is the resolution that ties this entire series together. You do not analyze a company to outsmart millions of strangers. You analyze it for 2 humbler, more achievable reasons. First, to genuinely understand what you own, so you can hold it with conviction when the price drops and everyone panics. And second, to avoid disasters, to spot the company drowning in debt, the business you do not understand, the price that only works if a miracle happens. Analysis is far better at helping you dodge catastrophes than at finding hidden treasure. And this is the exact reason a quiet legend keeps reappearing in our story. Warren Buffett, perhaps the greatest analyst who ever lived, bet $1 million that a simple index fund would beat the hand-picked experts over 10 years, and he won easily. Think about what that means. The man who mastered analysis better than almost anyone concluded that for most people, the smartest move is to not try to outpick the market at all and simply own the whole thing. That is not a contradiction. That is the wisdom on the far side of all this knowledge. So where does that leave you, now that you can analyze a company and also see the humbling limit of it? In a genuinely powerful place. You understand businesses well enough to own individual ones with real conviction, if you choose to, and to avoid the traps that wreck overconfident beginners. And you understand the market well enough to know, with clear eyes, why the simple index fund remains the wise foundation for almost everyone. You're no longer choosing out of ignorance. You are choosing out of understanding, and that is the entire point. So look back at the uncomfortable question we started with. Is all this analysis one big problem? The honest answer is that it has one big limit. The market already knows what you know, and pretending otherwise is how people get hurt. But analysis was never really about beating the genius crowd. It was about understanding what you own and sidestepping disaster. And at that is priceless. The humility you just gained is worth more than any stock tip you will ever hear. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep it simple and analyze to understand, never to outsmart the world.